some men in the incel community are just so unattractive. Just no amount of self-work will make them attractive to women. It's sad. I feel sorry for those guys. I mean, I'm one of them. It is what it is, and just I think it's best men be told the truth. I think rather than giving false hope based on blind optimism. Tell people the truth. You know, you can say it a nice way, but you don't give them false hope either. That's just as toxic. That's why we have a lot of that's why we in the Blackpill incel community have a big problem with pickup artists. They promise all this stuff that if you learn game, you know, you pick up lots of hot women. No, won't. Can't teach attraction. You can't teach it. You're either an attractive man or you're not.
You don't believe that your communication with a person shapes your attractiveness?
It contributes, but it's not the major thing. The women.
So isn't that
Women
already
go for.
enough? So how many points is it can it increase your attractiveness? Do you think that if you are I don't know, a 5 out of 10, 4 out of 10, and you go to a woman and you make her laugh, and you are saying stuff that makes her curious and that she thinks is interesting, don't you think that would increase your looks by 1 point, 2 points? Have you never experienced that with women? Have you never experienced it with women where you saw a woman and just the way that she was like, the first time you saw her, you were not really like, oh my god, she's really beautiful, but then after you met her, you saw her charisma, the way she talks, and like just the way she is, and that made her more and more attractive?
Well, me personally, yeah, there's women who I've interacted with, and look, I initially didn't find that physically attractive, but then they had other qualities and characteristics that made them attractive, like their personality, their warmth, their femininity.
So
Um,
so do you think that's different for women? Do you think that women don't have the same thing happening to them?
Theoretically, but then
Wait, why do you say
you still got to
theoretically?
pass. Well, you could meet a woman who, although she may not be attracted to you physically, you might get to like your personality, and there
No,
are
no, no,
some
no,
women out
no.
there.
I'm
But
talking about increasing your points. Okay, she considered you a 5 out of 10. Then she has a
right,
conversation with you for, I don't know, an hour. You make her laugh. You're interesting. You're funny. You're charismatic. What do you think? How much can your points increase in that time, in 1 hour? 1 point, 2 point. Is that possible? Isn't that something that you have experienced with a woman as well?
possibly, but
Why do you say possibly?
because it depends on the woman. It
Do you
depends
think
if
that is possible? Do you think that this is possible? Don't, if you say it depends on the woman, then you just have to say yes. Because if it depends on the woman, there is at least one woman where this would happen. So it's possible that this happens, right?
yes.
Okay.
Sometimes,
Why say you? I feel like that's a the way you're communicating is that uh you have to agree to something just logically, but then you slip in some people, depends on the individual, possibly. You see how that's like, that's always trying to undermine the fact that you actually agree, but you're trying to build in a small door where you can escape from it, but actually you already agree.
yeah, it's
Okay, so
yeah.
why do you think it's
Communication.
wrong for we I would like to talk to you, like you talked about PUAs. Why do you think it's wrong for PUAs to teach? I mean, I don't like PUAs either that much. I think most of them are full of shit. But I think it's really important to
Oh,
teach people communication. Uh, I think you can teach people good communication, and you can also teach people to just approach women that you see somewhere where you are sitting in the cafe or in a bar or wherever you are, you can teach people to just go there and talk to a woman.
Yeah, the problem I have with PUAs is that you understand what the main premise of PUA is. They claim that if you can press the right emotional buttons on a woman, that will get her to overlook your physical shortcomings and get her to sleep with you. It doesn't work. If you don't pass that minimum looks threshold, it really doesn't matter.
You just agreed with me that it would increase your points. So you are saying you're a self-proclaimed
It could.
1.5
It,
out of 10. You said, right?
yes,
So
definitely.
you said that you did looks max, and that brought you
Yep,
to a 4 out of 10, right?
yep.
And then you also agreed that communication can increase your points. At least you have experienced that, and I think everybody has. That it can increase your own points by 1 or 2 points, right?
It could in some situations. Yes, in some
It's
situations,
possible. When I ask you
it's
if it's
possible.
possible, the moment you say it could, it's then you can just say yes, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yes.
that would bring you from a 1.5 to a 6.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Wait, we just did the
um,
math, right?
yeah, but it's
So it's not.
yeah.
It's yeah. Why? What's the? Where's the contention? And there's plenty of women for which you see plenty of 6 out of 10 guys just by looks having girlfriends and being in relationships.
Oh yeah. No, no. Look, I mean, although I know some black pillars say, "Oh, you got to be at least an 8 out of 10 to attract them." No, that's too extreme. Um, I think me personally, my view is as long as as a man, as long as you're at least average looking. Look, I'm not going to give arbitrary ratings to other men. At the end of the day, it's women who are the ultimate judges of male attractiveness. But I think as a man, at least if you're at least average looking, you've got a chance. But anything below average, it becomes very tough. Very, very tough.
I'm
Very
not saying
hard.
it's not tough. I'm not saying it's not tough. I'm agreeing with you that it's harder for a worse looking man. Everything's a little bit harder. That's just the way it is, right? And it's the same for where you've been born, right? So if you're born in a poor third world country, yeah, shit's way harder, right? So there's lots of baggage that we just carry from birth, where for some people it's way easier. Just who are your parents? If your parents are really rich, it's stuff is way easier. Everything's way easier, right? But that's just the cards that we've been dealt by life. That's just
Absolutely.
like you it makes absolutely no sense to complain about that. You can try to make the
Absolutely.
world a better place where maybe it's not that arbitrary, right? You can that's a good approach. You could for example argue for a society that is not that focused on looks, right? But I'm not saying that it's not harder. I'm just saying that it's not over. It's even in your age, it's still within your reach to become a 6 out of 10.
Oh, don't know about that.
We just
um,
we just did the
but look,
math.
yeah, but I don't know. I can only go by my experience, what I've observed. Um, and look at, you know, yeah, I know I do go on it that I'm physically unattractive, but I'm just being honest. I mean, I think the worst lie a person can tell is when they lie to themselves, and I definitely don't lie to, if I bomb out with a woman, I'm honest about saying, yeah, look, no, I approached her, she rejected me. But yeah, why lie? Why pretend I'm some sort of Casanova womanizer when I'm not? I've got to be honest. You
I
got to be
never
honest with
said any.
yourself.
Wait, I don't feel like you're engaging at all with what I've just said.
But all you just said I could knock myself up to a 6. No, I don't think so. I did try to look some
I
max, and
j-
I only got up to
I
about
did.
a
You
4.
told me that you became a 4 with looks maxing.
That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that by becoming a better communicator, earning more money, getting more educated, or forget the money part, just by getting more educated and learning to make better communication, work on mental health, I think that would make you easily you can get 2 points from that. I'm 100% sure. And you also agreed with me that you can get 2 points from that because you have experienced the same thing with women, right? Do you know what crazy eyes are in women?
No, I've heard the expression, but what does it mean?
Yeah, so it's like when there is, it's not only for women, it's also for people, but it's mostly used for women, where you just like look her in the eyes and you just see some craziness. So and for most guys, it's a big turn. It's a real big turn off, um, and it just reduces her attractiveness by at least 2-3 points, right? So, and the same
Okay,
thing also goes the other way. So you can have, for example, I've brought up this example a lot of times in the stream, is the hot teacher fantasy or the nurse fantasy or uniforms or whatever, like whatever people have like context around the physical attractiveness, around what they find attractive, just increases or decreases the attractiveness by a significant amount. So if you are able to looks max to a 4 out of 10, you're easily within reach of 1 out of 10 back to a 1 out of 10 or up to a 6 or 7 out of 10. Not looks wise, just as a complete package when a woman gets to meet you. I mean, there is one argument that you are not really an incel. It's the story where this prostitute that you had sex with gave you a few freebies, right? So
that's right. Yeah.
so that's already right.
Well, I don't know.
Even
Maybe it
without
might have
looks
been pity.
mixing, you did that.
Yeah, it could have been pity sex. I don't know. Who knows? Or maybe she liked me. Yeah, yeah. She gave me a few free ones outside of it, which was nice of her. Yeah. Um, yeah. So at least one woman found me attractive. So yeah, she gave me a few free ones outside of her work. So,
After she met you, right? So she
well,
met
she had
you,
to admit
she spent time with
as a
you.
client, as a
Yeah.
client. Yeah, and then yeah. But that was after I first met her in 2008, November 2008, and years later, quite unsolicited. Sorry, no pun intended. She gives me her email address. We exchange it for emails, and she gives me a phone number. And then one day she says, "Oh, look, I've got a day off work. You want to meet at this bar?" So we did, and she bought me a drink. I bought her one, and yeah, she took me home to her place, and yeah, we had sex.
Yeah, there you
It was
go.
good, fun.
And you weren't looks maxed at the time, right?
No, 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 no.
Yeah, so you did that while being a self-proclaimed 1 out of 10, right?
Yep, yep.
So now imagine what you can do when you're a looks maxed to a 4 out of 10, and then education maxed and communication maxed and therapy maxed.
Well, there's nothing wrong. I don't think there's anything wrong with the way I communicate to women. I know how to talk to them, and as I said, when I've interacted with women, I just see what I have in common with them, see if I have some common grounds.
I
Ask them
mean,
what they like to do and stuff like that, and I think but see, with communication, just like attraction, it's got to be a two-way street. I mean, you can have the best communication skills in the world, but what if the woman that you're talking to, she's not responding, she's ignoring you,
but
which has happened to me many times.
already in this conversation, you have agreed that you're already starting off with bad communication. You've said that a big part of communication is nonverbal communication, and we have agreed that it's really
Right.
difficult to fake nonverbal communication, right? And that part is already really bad right off the get go.
Well, no, I don't know how to communicate to women or anybody. But as before, communication's got to be just like attraction. It's got to be a two-way street. What's the point if you're talking to a woman and she's ignoring you?
Yeah, but it's a two-way street. You're already starting off really bad. You're basically initiating the conversation, and it's already starting
Right.
off really bad.
Or how's it starting off bad?
Because you're already, with your body language and with your tone of voice and all the things that you can't you have really big difficulties controlling, you're already sending off all of the signals that come from what you think about what's going to happen. Because you already get into the, when I would send you now, when we would both go out and I would tell you, okay, there is this woman, don't you want to talk to her, and or you decide to talk to her, you would already go there because of everything that you believe in, because of all the things that you believe in. You would already go there believing that you're never gonna get her, right? That's just a fact.
Well, depends. I mean, if I go up to her, I'll see how she reacts.
Wait. You believe that you could just go to a woman and get her to be with you? Then you're not an incel. Then
Well,
you're a
no,
fake cell.
I'm definitely not a fake cell. No, obviously
So
you approach a woman, you see her body language, and if
do you
it's
believe that you could get a woman now or not?
probably not, no.
Okay, so you don't believe that. So that's that, and the fact that you don't believe that already has a big impact on your communication with her. You also just don't disagree with that, right? You just said that the nonverbal communication is really important, is a big part of the conversation, and
Well, it is.
that part is also really hard to fake. So you're already initiating a conversation with really bad signals of communication, right?
Well, I mean, you're only going to react to a situation. I mean, if
No, you
obviously if you
initiate.
the conversation, yeah,
Yes. So it's the first interaction comes from you.
okay. Well, obviously you go up to a woman, you introduce yourself, hi, what
Yes.
you ask her name, you ask her no name, and you
And the
ask
way you
about
say,
herself. Nothing personal.
yes.
You just ask her general stuff like what do you like to do, how you like to have fun, and
Why nothing personal?
stuff. Because it's intrusive. If you
You
go
have
up to
to
a
be
woman and ask
you have to, intimacy can only be created by being intrusive.
well, I
You have
don't
to
think a woman would
intrude
like it.
into the intimate space of somebody else. Of course, not you alone. The other person has to come into, has to basically you tango into it. But I mean, I don't want to give you dating advice. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not here for that.
Yeah, no.
And I'm not here to analyze behavior or blah blah. But just what I'm saying, just theoretically, we have already stated that you are it's very likely that you are communicating negative signals to the other person when you meet that other person, right?
Well, but only in response to the negative they've given me. So, obviously, if a woman gives me a dirty look,
But you initiated the conversation. She hasn't even seen you.
well, she's going to see you when you go up to her.
Yeah.
So she's going to see you, and then depending on the body language that I see, if it's hostile, then and this is perfectly normal. Obviously, you're going to get anxious
Who's sending the
and
first
nervous.
signal?
But in terms of
If you approach a woman, who's sending the first communicative signal? You or her?
well, obviously you are because you like her and you want to, but I don't. Yeah.
No, just by or even two people in general. I go up to someone, talk to that person. Who's sending the first communicative signal?
Obviously, you are the person initiating the
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. And I'm saying your initial approach is already tainted by the fact that you don't believe that you can ever it's possible that a woman that you find attractive or that you want would ever want you. That's already in your head before you go there. And
well, that's because
you are
all the
communicating
rejection.
that to the other. I don't care why that's the case. That's just a fact, right?
Well, yeah, but that's because of all the rejection you've copped. When you've had no success with
Wait,
women,
that's okay. That's okay. It
you know,
might be
you
because of your experience. I agree.
um,
But
of course, you're not going to be confident, because you've had no success. I mean, to me, confidence is the byproduct of success. You need the success first before the confidence. I'm sorry, there's no other way around it.
but the world
Confidence,
doesn't.
confidence without success is just delusion.
Wait,
You've
before
got to
we
have
get there.
success first.
Okay, before now you're getting into the reasons. You're trying to. Okay, but you agree that you are already sending negative signals before you have even the moment you start the interaction, right? So you already that's already we can agree upon that, right? So you're not that would be something you would have to max out, right? That would be something that you would have to heavily work on, correct?
Well, I mean, when I've approached women, I've done it. I've done it in a very not threatening, not a very passive way.
No, no, no,
You
no,
know,
no. We have already decided now that this is the case for you right now, right? Just on a theoretical level.
yeah, but that's well, my body language that I give out to women is only in response to theirs.
We have already
You know,
said that you are the first, you giving the first signal.
right? But I can only react to what the body language I get from her.
We've already said that you give the first signal, so
Uh,
there is no reaction.
yeah,
So you're giving out a
I mean,
bad signal, you're getting a bad signal back.
well,
So that's what we already agreed on. You're the
yeah,
one initiating the conversation, right?
that's right, correct.
Okay, so that would be something that you would have to work on, right?
Well, possibly, yeah, I guess.
Why
Um,
possibly? I mean, that's just follows directly from everything we
that,
said before.
but that's not the reason why I'm getting rejected. It's not because of the way
I'm not saying
because of my
that. I'm
body.
not saying that, but that's part of it, right? That's contributing to it, right? No matter if it's really small or really big.
I just, to me, it's just my look.
Is it you're not answering my question. That's already a bad communication style, not to answer direct,
Oh,
not to communicate
okay,
directly.
well, so you're asking, is my body language detrimental? Is that what you're saying? Is that what's
I mean, yeah.
is that what
So everything that you're basically everything that is nonverbal in your communication is already pretty messed up because of your presuppositions of what's going to happen. If you don't have
But
these
I'm
if you don't have these presuppositions, you would not be an incel, or you would not be blackpilled.
well, I can only go by past experience.
I don't care where it's coming from. That's not what we're talking about. We can talk about it afterwards. We can talk about it right after this. But I first want you to agree that that you are communicating that this is not going to happen and it's really bad and that this makes no sense that you just approached her. That's what you're communicating to her because that's what you believe, right? And you agreed that you said that that's the way you read women because it's not easy to fake body language because you're basically not able to hide your body language. Don't believe what she says, believe her body language, right? That was your words.
What's her actions? But that isn't
Yeah,
her
but you
words.
said
Isn't
that you have to
her
look at her
actions?
body language in order to see if
Absolutely,
she wants you or
A-
not, right?
absolutely. You have to. It's
Okay,
just
and
that's common sense.
exactly. And people also see your body language and see the tonality in your voice and see also that you, for example, scared to intrude and people's intrude and to ask personal stuff, right?
Uh, I don't think women would like you. I mean, for example, if you're interacting with a woman that you have an interest in, I don't think she's gonna
Could
like
it
it if you ask that
could
if you
it
ask her how many sexual partners she's had before you. I don't
could
think
a
she'd like
chat do
that.
that? Could a chat get away with that?
Absolutely.
Absolutely, right? So you're not thinking that it's
Okay.
generally wrong. You're just thinking it's wrong because you're not attractive enough, right?
That's right.
That's right. So that's what I'm talking about. So the reason why the all of the communication that you're doing is tainted by the assumption that it's not going to work out and that she doesn't want you. So everything you're doing and everything you're saying is has this as a presupposition underlying baked into it basically, and
Oh,
that
was it?
makes for a bad communication. And I think
Well,
you also agree with that.
I don't know about that. I mean, you know, I can only react to how people react to me. You know what I mean? You know, obviously,
You don't stop saying that. We already said that you are the one initiating. You're not reacting to anything. You might be acting this way because of past experience, but that's not what we're talking about right now. We can talk about that. Okay, but do you agree that you're communicating in a detrimental way to your success? That your communication is detrimental to the chances of you being successful?
what you mean in terms of my body language?
Yes, your body language and your whole communication.
Well, there's nothing wrong with my communication, but
Bro,
uh,
don't make me repeat
you
everything
can't.
again.
Yeah, but you can't talk your way into a woman's pants. You just can't do it.
Wait,
You,
stop saying these platitudes. Please. We've you do you agree? I can't repeat everything.
yeah, sure.
At this point, I feel like you're either please engage with what I'm saying. You can have a contention. You can say if it's wrong what I'm saying, but it just directly follows from what we've both agreed upon. Do you think that you thinking that it's not going to work out has any detrimental effect whatsoever on your communication?
Well, well, it could because obviously you're not gonna be very confident in the way you're not gonna have much confidence in the way you
Yeah,
speak
yeah,
because
yeah.
oh,
And
but I
I'm not saying that it's not because you've been rejected 100 times before. We can talk about that if it's because of that.
yeah
But I'm just talking about the mere fact that low confidence is messing up your communication.
well, it doesn't help but look I can look okay you could call this anecdotal but this happened to me a couple of times. I've talked to women over the phone, right? This is women that I was about to meet on a blind date.
I will say it's
They love the
anecdotal.
sound.
Yeah.
Well, it's happened to me a few times, but anyway,
Mm-hmm.
they love the sound of my voice. They liked everything I liked until they saw me in person and they did a full 180 on me. I'll give you a classic example. Right, July 1999, I placed an ad in the Lonely Hearts column.
Wait. Before
Right,
you go into that example, I get you.
sure.
I've heard that, but it's a great example. Let's talk about that example.
All
So,
right, what happened was she was an Irish woman. You could tell from the accent. Over the phone, she loved the sound of my voice. She liked everything I liked, and we were forming a real connection until she saw me in person, and then she did a full 180 on me. And all she could do for the miserable 90 minutes that I spent with her, I should have cut the date short. All she could do was complain about how her ex-husband was an alcoholic and he was no good in bed. Like I don't solicit that kind of information from women. When I talk to them, I want to talk about happy stuff. But I think she was doing that just to get rid of me. Right? So how do you explain how when I spoke to her over the phone, she liked my communication skills, but when she saw me in person, she didn't like me anymore.
okay, first of all that's a completely different situation than most interactions are and should be, right? I don't think that you should build up everything without seeing the way a person looks, okay? So that's the first thing. Secondly, again, you're saying she made a full 180 on you. You don't
Silly
know
what
if
she
she
told
did
me.
it.
Yep.
Yeah, but she still went on a date with you, right? And I mean, this happened. You already say that this happened to you a few times. So I'm 100% sure. I mean, you can tell me. Weren't you scared as shit that she was going to meet you and then not want you? Wasn't that a worry,
Of course.
or is that something that you were like afterwards? You were like, maybe it was because the way I looked. But I'm pretty sure that already you've said in a podcast or in an interview, you said that the first time you realized that you're an incel was when you were in kindergarten or something like that. So you were already pretty in a really early age. You were pretty aware of or you were thinking that you were really aware of the way you look, and so you can tell me that you were not scared of her not wanting you after meeting you.
Of course. We all have a fear of rejection. Every human being does. Anyone who says they don't fear rejection is a liar. Okay. No, but when I
No,
spoke to her
some
over the phone,
situations
actually,
you
I was
don't
really,
feel fear of rejection.
yeah. But when I was talking to her over the phone, I was really confident. I said, "Oh wow, we're going to really hit it off." And then when she saw what I looked like, she I wouldn't say she was a bitch, but she just wasn't very nice to me anymore.
But this doesn't
She's a
prove
polite.
anything. I mean, again, it's just an anecdote, and it doesn't prove anything. And also, the story in this story, it can happen exactly what I said would happen. Can also happen in your story. It's just that when you're on the phone, you're really confident, but then when you meet her, you're a completely different person.
But only in
I
response
mean,
to her.
I've
Anyway,
come again.
yeah, but when I was talking to her over the phone, I was confident. But then when she met me,
Yeah,
but
so
she was the one who wanted to talk. But she was the one who talked about negative stuff. I wanted to keep it happy and upbeat.
I don't care
I,
about
I
that.
didn't. I didn't.
That's not
I
important.
didn't ask her. Yeah, no,
That's not important
I
to
didn't
our
ask.
conversation.
Yeah,
That's
I know,
that's
but
besides the point. What's important is, do you agree that you, or what do you think was your confidence level when you were on the phone, and what was your confidence level when you met her in real life?
on the phone it was pretty high.
Okay. And
Because I thought,
in real life?
and well, when she did a full 180, when she did the
No,
180 on
before
me, then
that. Before that. You were walking to the
uh,
date. On the way to the date, what
right,
was your confidence level
wasn't
compared
too
to on
bad
the
to be
phone?
honest.
Compared to on the phone.
I was still reasonably confident.
Okay.
Not.
Okay.
I was
Was
still
it higher
confident.
or
But then
lower? Higher or lower or the
no,
same?
no, I say about the same to be honest, because of
Okay,
the way we
then
connected over the phone.
okay,
But
then
then,
you were not a black pillar at the time?
um, yeah, it was. Yeah.
Okay, how can it be that her meeting you in person, seeing how you look like would not impact your confidence level if you think that looks is everything? I don't believe that. I'm sorry. That's the first time I really have to say it. I don't believe you that you were exactly as confident or even close to the same confidence as you were on the phone. Or you
I
were not
mean,
a black pillar, or you were not an incel, but these two things are mutually exclusive.
well, I was still an incel, and no, I think I, no, I was still a black pillar then. I mean, I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what the term was back then. But
Sure. So
no,
how
it's
does it,
definitely.
how did it not affect your confidence level that you would know that she would now see that you're not as no, you're not attractive guy?
Well, destroys your confidence. I mean,
Yeah, but you're just saying that it's not destroying your confidence, that you were just the same.
yeah, no, that's prior to me meeting her. But then
How is that possible?
when
Then you became a black pillar after you met her?
no, I gave black pill after many, not just that, just lots of other experiences, not just that one, plenty of other ones as well.
I think, yeah, I think we were talking past each other, or you're I don't know. So you talk to her on the phone. You have a very high confidence
Yep,
level. Okay?
absolutely. Yep,
Then
absolutely. Yep,
you're going to meet her, right? And she has never
right.
seen
Yep,
you. And you
that's
believe
right.
that looks is everything. So none of your good communication and fun you had on the phone matters. She's just gonna look at your looks and then decide, right? And you don't think that you're good looking. And you tell him you went into that conversation confidently. And you were an incel at the time, and you were a black pillar. That's not possible. That's all that's mutually exclusive. That's not possible. Either the only way this is possible is that at the time you were not a black pillar, and you didn't believe that looks is everything, and you thought, hey, we had a good conversation, we had a good chat, and now we're gonna meet, and now it's gonna be really great as well, right? But a black pillar would say, man, I'm still like 1 out of 10. She's just gonna reject me. Why would you go there happily? Why would you go there confidently? Doesn't make any sense.
Well, I suppose experiences like that, which I've had many of, may help me black pill. I mean,
at the time,
as I
were
was
you black
growing
pillar?
up,
You said you were black pillar.
well, with regards to that blind date I had, no, I mean, I didn't know what the black pill was back then.
Okay, if you're not a black pillar at the time, then this is not a good example because right now you are, and we're talking about right now. Then it's not a good example. Then it's just not a. Then it's even a better example for what I'm proposing is that you're not going to be a good communicator if you believe that looks makes things everything, and sorry, that looks is everything, and you are right now not a good communicator. Then it's not a good example because at the time you might have been as well a good communicator.
Yeah, but it's not women. It's your communication skills is not what attracts women. It's your looks.
Oh my
women
god.
don't have sex.
Oh my god.
Women don't. Well, hang on. Look. Okay, I know it's an extreme example. Look at that Jeremy Mix guy in America. That ex criminal that got released by jail. You ever listened to him talk? He sounds like a retard,
I don't know who that
but he's
is.
good looking. Look him up. He came out a couple of years
I
ago.
don't want to look him up.
Uh,
I just want you to engage with what I'm saying. And if you say that it's wrong, tell me it's wrong. But it makes no sense what you're saying. It makes absolutely no sense. I'm sorry. It really makes
why
no
doesn't
sense. It makes no sense.
why does
It makes no sense for you to be confident about going into an interaction with a woman while at the same time claiming that you're an incel and blackpilled. That makes absolutely no sense. That both of these things are mutually exclusive. If you want to get her, if you want to get with her, if you want to be with her, and you think that you have no chances, there is no which is what being an incel blackpilled incel means, believing that you don't have any chances. There is no way that you can get into that interaction confidently. That's just not possible.
Well, I can only tell you what happened. When I was talking over the phone, yeah, there was nothing wrong with my communicate. We had a great conversation. I could talk the legs off the chair, you know. But when she met me, she did the biggest 180 on me. Like going in when I went to the date, I was feeling reasonably confident.
Can you solve
Yeah,
can you solve this paradox for me? Of somebody being incel, blackpilled, and going confidently on a date? Can you solve this paradox for me? How is that possible? How can a blackpilled incel go confidently to a date?
um, just depends on his previous success.
If he has success, you think he's still an incel? If he was a really successful guy before,
Oh no, I'm
then he's
what
not
I
an
was
incel,
referring to
right?
more like the hardcore incels like me, like the hardcore ones. Um, yeah, look, I mean, I was, obviously as I went to the date, I still felt confident because of the way we interacted over the phone. But then when she saw what I looked like, and then she changed.
So you were not
My com-
blackpilled or not blackpilled enough, right? So you thought
probably not
that
black enough. Yeah, probably not black
okay,
enough.
okay, but then that's not a good example because now you are. and we're talking about your communication skills now, right? Then that's not a relevant example at all.
Yeah, but
Right?
it's happened to me. Well, it's happened to me a lot.
I don't care. I don't care. Right now, you are blackpilled, right? Right now, you're blackpilled. So right now, there is no way that you can go confidently to a date, and there is no way that you can give any type of positive communication to a woman, right?
I mean, what am I going to do if I go up to a woman and talk to her? What am I going to say to her? If I got no chance with her, I'm just wasting her
Yeah,
time
that's what
and
I'm
my time.
saying. That's what I'm saying. That's what you're also communicating to that other person. You don't think you can be intrusive. You don't think that you can be you can ask personal questions. You already with your body language are already showing off that you don't think that this is going to work out. Wait, but just admitting that is not gonna, like, I'm not even saying that it's not because you've been rejected in the past. Obviously, for a really good looking guy who has never had rejection in his life before, he doesn't even have to deal with that problem. Okay?
Right.
But most people have had to deal with that problem. And most people fell down, stood up, fell down, stood up. I mean, most people have been rejected the first time. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Some people haven't, some people got lucky. But most people have dealt with rejection. And most people have been rejected more times than they have been that they have gotten positive feedback.
Well, yeah, of course.
But you can't tell me that you're a great communicator and that you're doing everything right already, and that you don't have to max on that charisma level and on that confidence level and on that communication level. You already got it all. If you're at the same time black pilled, that doesn't make any sense. That's just mutually exclusive. Sorry, I don't want to cut you off.
Yeah, you're fine. Look, I mean, you know, you can only, as I said before, you can only respond. I mean, you can only respond to the way women respond to you. So, if a woman's giving you bad body language, sorry.
You mean in the
Excuse
past,
me.
right? You mean, so you can only be as confident as the amount of rejections or success you've had, right? That's what you mean.
Yes.
Okay. And to a certain extent I agree. But you could also fix that without getting success, right? You could become better at communicating with people in general without having the success. Do you agree?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I can talk to anyone. I mean, in one of my previous jobs, I used to be the payroll. I used to do the pays, and you have to talk to people at all levels of the company, from the CEO right down to the guys on the factory floor. So you got to learn how to talk to people. So I can talk the legs off of a chair, and and even some of the women who rejected me, but they did it nicely. They gave me a good 30 minutes of their time. Because I was talking to them. They didn't mind talking to me. They weren't attracted to me, but they still gave me 30 minutes of their time because I talked. They didn't mind talking to me. So I mean, nothing wrong with my communication skills. I mean, if a woman doesn't like me, she doesn't
There
like
is
me. What can I
nothing
do
wrong
about
with
it?
the way you're communicating. Are you really telling me that? After all we've said now,
Yeah,
you think
I can
that
talk the legs off.
you
I can
don't
talk the
think
legs
that
off a chair.
you
I can
don't
talk the legs
think,
off a chair.
but that's not good communication. That's actually the opposite of good communication.
Why is that?
Because you just talk for talking. It's not to create any form of rapport or intimacy.
Oh, but you can't talk your way into a woman's pants. You just can't.
You just keep repeating these platitudes.
No,
It's
but
you,
well,
if
that's
you
it.
don't have good arguments for that, then why just repeat these platitudes? I mean, it sounds like what I try to do is basically show you that it will have a detrimental effect on your chances. And you agree with that. You agree that low confidence is going to decrease your chances, right?
Well, it doesn't help. Yeah, good. It doesn't help. It's not beneficial. It won't help. But you got to. But then you got to ask why doesn't the person have confidence? See,
that was not the
one thing
topic. That was not what we were talking about. We can talk about that. I agree that that's because you don't have big confidence, because you have been rejected in the past, right?
Yeah.
But that's not what. But you can't even admit. Let's say I'm saying you have an injured arm. That's why you're not able to fight really good. And you keep saying, yeah, I've been hurt in a fight before. That's why. Yeah, but you still have to get your arm fixed.
That's right. Yeah.
So let's first agree that you have the problem of a broken arm. But you keep flip flopping between I don't have a problem, and once I pin you down that you do have a problem, then you say, yeah, but you know why I have this problem? Because of before. Because I've been rejected before. But it's a mess. Okay, first let's agree that you have a problem, and then we can also talk about the reasons. But why are we talking about the reasons if you don't have a problem?
Well, yeah, I don't know. Well, I guess that's something we'll have to agree to disagree on.
Okay.